If he ain't building you up, then he's like dead weight around your neck.
Samore Love bugs, you have now tuned in to my Real Housewives of Atlanta recap. Guys, be sure to subscribe to this channel if you have not yet done so. Share this video wherever you like to share videos. Check out my other channel, Samore Love TV, because that's where I have all my beauty as well as my love and hip hop recaps on that channel. So definitely be sure to check it out. So this one, this episode, it was the beginning of crazy. I mean, I don't know how much they're going to show in the next one, but we saw a fairly good amount. But of course, they wanted to do to be continued because they know how the fight scenes be getting viral and stuff. I know what y'all doing. I know. Anyway, so let's go ahead and start from the beginning, and then we'll build our way up to the craziness that had occurred in this episode. So Kenya, she's still being a bit shady with Sheree, but she wasn't doing it like actually to Sheree. Like she keeps on doing it in the commentary, and you already know that once you do it in the commentary and they show it at the reunion, they're probably most likely gonna get into it. So I'm waiting for that. But right now she goes up to see Sheree. She goes up to her house and everything, and she's giving her all these fake compliments about how her house is so big and so nice and this and that, although in the back scene she talking bad about the girl. But then she ends up inviting her to this yacht party or boat party that she's having for Cynthia, because you know Cynthia's going through all these things with her marriage and everything else. Porsha and Phaedra, they go to like this little sexy shop so she can get some sexy little hot mama outfits so she can woo her boo with. So when they do FaceTime, he can get a little eye candy and not want to do those groupies that's out there, or that's those transvestites or whatever it is that he's doing while he's out on the road. So that's her objective. But unfortunately, later on, they did show that when she gets all glammed up, she got on the little, boobies looking right and everything, got a little robe on, looking real sexy, looked like she even put on some smell goods, like the man could smell a truly freaking laptop or whatever. And she had on the lip gloss popping and everything else, looking glamified. He was all like busy and everything, so she calls up Phaedra, because Phaedra was the one that initially went with her, and just kind of tells her, and Phaedra first thing is, girl, if he ain't help you, he's dead weight, maybe you just gotta let him go. And I feel like right now Porsha, I mean, you're hearing good advice from your friend, yes, who doesn't really care for the guy, doesn't really care about him, just met him, so it's like it's easy to say just drop him. She don't know the relationship that they have. But even other than that, I feel like even if she doesn't want to be with him, and she kind of did say this, part of the reason why she's sticking with him is because she just showed him off to everybody, like had this, oh, this is my man, he's my MVP type of party. And now she's gonna look stupid. She finally shows everybody who her man is, because he's not some African prince or whatever she had before that was married or whatever, we all heard the stories. But now he's actually a man that's available, who had his little scandals, but she showed him off, and now is about to be broken off, single again, hashtag. Those you just hate that, then you gotta go delete all these pictures off of Instagram and Twitter and everything else where you done shared your photos. Oh, girl, I know what you mean. I know what it is. Cynthia and Kandi, they're talking, and Kandi, she wants to open up a restaurant. And although it's mostly Todd's idea, she wants to support him because he supported her with the whole play idea and it went well. But she really doesn't think that it's really good timing because, she's pregnant. And then Cynthia, of course, she brings up the fact that she might be just giving up on her marriage. But then she seemed like she's up and down, like she really don't know what she want to do, because she said she kind of wants to give up, but then she was also in another light saying that she's gonna keep on going. I guess she's saying that's what she would prefer to do, but because of the marriage she wants to kind of work it out, or see if she's able to work it out to prevent having to get a divorce and all those extra things that are involved with divorce. Kim feels she's now hanging out with Phaedra, and the kids are having like this poolside little play date party, which is so cool. And they even had a lifeguard. Phaedra, she goes all out all the time. So then they're talking about how life is for them, and Kim just seems to have such a regular, degular house mom, housewife type of life. And Phaedra kind of schools her, and she's like, you know, me, even though I got married and had kids, I always made sure I didn't lose sight of who I was, and I didn't want to do that. That's the reason why I made sure I always get my nails done, hair done, everything did. I'm fancy, hun. And when Kim was like, you know, talking to her about the fact that she doesn't do all those things, Phaedra was looking at her like she had two heads going out the side of her neck, you know, two extra ones, or like she was speaking another language that she never heard before. And it was like funny the way she was looking at her, like, what? You know that you're supposed to get yourself together and look fly. I mean, she looks regular degular. And I mean, she could have a whole ton load of money, but she's just not, she doesn't seem like the glammed up type. But then eventually she does kind of break down, because she realizes from talking to Phaedra that she did kind of lose sight of who she was and all the fun things. I mean, even when she went to the party, I felt like her outfit wasn't up to par. I kind of felt like, you know, when she went to Cynthia's event, I kind of felt like she was more so like beach party ready type of outfit. But I mean, that could be me. I mean, it looked nice, but it just didn't seem like as fancy as everybody else was. And she also had mentioned how everybody be like having all their boobage out, and Phaedra's like, you know, yeah, I don't know why they be doing it. And I'm like, Phaedra, girl, you are being so phony and fake right now, because I know I've seen her rock a little cleavage here and there. May not have been that much, but she showed, and she showed off all she box size, so I don't know what she's talking about. Girl, you know, let's roll the footage back to last season, the season before that one, where you had all your booty cheeks out there, girl. She's all like, oh yes, I'm happy that somebody finally sees what I'm seeing. You know, sanctified Phaedra. Girl, bye. Once that happens, then it was time for the boat party, and they had bartenders that were there that looked like strippers. You know, they were all showing the little 6 and 8 packs and all that stuff, serving them some drinks. Kim feels she doesn't drink, and who else didn't drink? Of course, Porsha. Kandi doesn't drink because she's pregnant, and plus she wasn't really much of a drinker before that anyway. Kenya's annoyed because who was it that brought her? It was either Kenya or Porsha. I'm not sure, because it was like a little group that was coming. It was either Porsha or Kandi that brought Shamia, which was the one that was throwing all that shade, talking about you could drink Kenya's thing for the hair and all that. It's like water, and she put it to her mouth. I'm like, girl, you're gonna get poisoned. Who drinks stuff for the hair? I mean, I don't care how bland it smells, you don't drink stuff like that. But you know what, if that's what makes you happy, go ahead, let's see what happens. So yeah, she's there, and Kenya's just like, why did she bring it? And then she even like, yo, shade to the 10th power on some, why is she here? I didn't invite her. You don't bring somebody extra when you come to somebody's party. I was like, yo, I would have dead been like, you know what, did we move yet? I'm getting off this boat. See, that's the reason why. And even my grandmother taught me that. Like, you don't go where you're not invited. She taught me that from young, and I've grown up the same way. Where I've been like, oh, I didn't get an invite, I'm not trying to go. If they wanted me to go, they would have invited me. You know, unless it's something where I know like it's an open invitation where you don't really get invitations and things like that, then that's different. But if it's something where you got an invite and I didn't, they most likely didn't care about me enough to invite me. I mean, all they had to do was ask me if they knew me like that, you know? So, yeah, Shamia's up on there, and I'm like, girl, don't you feel a little uncomfortable? This girl's calling you out. And first of all, you was throwing super shade at her event. Why would you even want to come to another event of hers so you can try to throw more shade? Girl. And then Kenya, after she was coming for her, she started coming for, I mean, it was slight shade though. It wasn't too much. She starts talking about that Kim's 50, and Kim is like, 50? Like, girl, I've been on, what she said, Jet magazine for the last something amount of years or whatever. Or 3 times, I don't know what she said. She said she'd been on some magazine. I think it was Jet. And she's like, I'm not that old. I'm only 40. I think she said 46. She's like, I'm only 5 months older than you, not 5 years. Like, where the heck does Kenya think she coming from trying to call me old like that? Kenya then she gives a speech about how Cynthia is going through things and this is a party for her bestie and she's her bestie and everybody's like, bestie? Wow, we didn't know it was that serious with you two. Okay, excuse me. Then when Sheree arrives, she looks a little funny when she looks at this other lady that was there. Her name is Tammy or Tamia. I think her name was Tammy. She looked at her like, oh, I know you, but we're not friends like that. You know, one of those types of looks. And I'm just like, what happened with them? But then when Sheree like walked away with Kenya, they was having their little conversation. She does let them know. She was like, do you guys know that song? And they're like, no, what song? She was like, oh, my son, he has a song. It's called Drop. Hey, turn up, turn up. And everybody's looking like, crickets, crickets, crickets. No, we don't know that song. And Kandi try to save it like, oh, we don't listen to that much hip hop. You know, that type of thing. And then she's like, oh, well, Sheree's husband is, I guess, managing or producing her son's record and her son's career and stuff like that. But she wants to work with Kandi because she knew Kandi from like 20 years ago. She met her one time, so Candy's supposed to remember her type of thing. And Candy's just like, girl, first of all, I don't remember you from like 20 years ago. Let's start with that. And second of all, like, this is annoying. It's like a groupie coming up to you with some mixtape talking about, here you go. Like, we're all chilling. What are you doing? I mean, I understand you trying to get in and trying to talk to somebody and get those connections, but I feel like she was going a little too hard. At least get to know Kandi a little bit, since right now you're inside the circle right now, so you might as well get to know her a little bit, maybe become her friend, genuinely her friend, so she can genuinely like you and maybe want to talk business with you. And ever since Miss Tardy for the Party done messed up, she ain't trying to do nothing for free or for friends or anything like that. She's talking business. She's not trying to have those kind of problems anymore. So that's another thing that has to come into play as well when you're talking about some, oh, can you manage, produce him, or write for him, or anything else. Shamia and Kenya, they start getting into it a little bit, and then Kenya was throwing some shade, and then she threw some shade talking about some Miss America, and that made her get upset. Like, hold up, hold up, hold up. You ain't gonna be on my boat disrespecting me. I mean, she ain't do all of that, but that was the kind of vibe that I was getting when the girls be like, especially here in New York, they be like, hold up, what is it? You know, they start shaking the shoulders and things like that. Oh, my youth back in the days. So when she does that, she was just like, you know what, I'm getting you off my boat. You're getting off. Captain, I want somebody who's getting on my nerves to get off my boat. And they're just like, really? You gonna stop the boat, make us dock just because you're upset? Everybody's just like a little bit annoyed. And then Bestie is gonna go to the rescue and try to stop her from docking the boat. So she gets up, and I think Porsha said something about, oh, yeah, the bestie is gonna go, like, I didn't know y'all was besties, or something along those lines. When she says that, Cynthia's like, what? And then she was like, please. And once she said that, it was like Cynthia just turned into the Incredible Hulk. Like, she just got so upset. And Portia's like, yo, what's wrong with her? She was like, first of all, I am not Peter. She ain't gonna be talking to me like that. And then finally, Cynthia like walks away to the other side. And then because it was actually like an argument. So she actually went over to the other side. Then Kenya and Sheree come over to talk to Porsha, and she even was telling her that she took thought pills. Like, it was like really nasty that they was going back and forth. And even Porsha was like, yo, at the end of the day, you was calling me the B word all night. And see, this is the thing that I was saying. I even said this on Twitter a little while ago, Samore's World, shameless plug, that this is a reason why people don't need to be calling people B's. But first of all, you don't know how everybody's vibe is, if everybody wants to be called that. And second of all, it's not classy. It's like ghetto. It's not cool to be calling people B's all the time. Like, why you can't say somebody's name? Or like, girl, please. Like, what's wrong with saying girl? Or woman, please. Child, please. Honey, please. Why I gotta be please? So Cynthia, she got super offended, even though, like Porsha was saying, she was saying it all throughout the night. And then they try to defend her, saying, well, she didn't mean it like that. She was saying it in a playful way. She's like, what do you mean? It's still the same word at the end of the day. And she didn't say it like to try to offend her or anything like that either. She doesn't want her to feel some type of way about her saying that. So she was like, you know what, I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna talk to her. So she goes over and they're talking, but it turns into more of an argument where they're pointing hands in each other's faces. And Porsha was just like, I don't know why you felt some type of way, because I mean she was pretty much standing on her own, and to be honest, I would do the same thing. Just because if I'm not really sorry about something, I'm not gonna say sorry. I'll try to smooth it over, make you feel okay, unless you're like really close blood or something like that. Maybe I'll say sorry and push my pride aside, or like my husband or something like that, then maybe I'll push my pride aside and I'll say sorry. But if I know in my heart, mind, body, and soul that I feel like I didn't do anything wrong and there's no reason for me to apologize, I mean, why should someone want to accept an apology? Cynthia didn't even want to accept the apology if it's not authentic, if she doesn't feel like she did anything wrong. Okay, I'm sorry that you felt that way, but I didn't mean it that way. So I'm not really, at the end of the day, she's not really sorry, you know what I mean? So I understand where Porsha was coming from and why she didn't go ahead and say, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to say it. No, she did mean to say it, and she stands by her word at the end of the day. So then they all putting their hands in each other's face, and that's where the calamity occurs, honey. So I don't know, it damn near looked like the girl freaking stepped on her stomach or kicked her in the stomach, because I seen her look like they was kind of like tussling a little bit, and then from my quick little glimpse that I saw, it looked like Porsha got up and put her foot up. So I don't know. And then we see little clips for next week where somebody grabs her and had her over there on the side holding her, and she's like, oh, she better not let me catch her alone in the streets. Like, whoa, girl, you bring it back to your college days or your freaking high school days, girl. You're supposed to be refined now. You're supposed to be a different type of woman, girl. She needs to go back with the crazy man, because that's when she was tamed and wasn't acting crazy like this. When she didn't have her own voice. Now she got her own voice, she don't know how to act. Porsha, girl, you need to simmer down. You back in the credits, you need to keep it calm, cool, and collected before they kick you off. Oh lordy, that was hilarious though. Guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to stay fabulous, live free, and soar limitless. I'll see you in the next one. Later.